The ancient, all the great masters, they develop under very, very healthy wisdom, healthy thoughts, very wise, healthy thoughts. Against all this disappointment, against all this fear and suffering that everybody experiences in this life. Now, to calm that disappointment, end up that disappointment, to purify, transform those disappointment and suffering, fear of samsara, which everybody experiences every day, So they develop a very wise, very smart thoughts. They say, nothing's real. Nothing's real. So nothing's real. Oh, everything's happening. Everything is shaky, shalalalala, but nothing's real. So the secret, you realize. For example, one nice lady comes, oh, I love you. She comes, smile, maybe she will kiss you. This angel is not real. I'm just dreaming about this lady. I have an illusion done now. So when it appears, you realize it is not real. During when she or he stay with you, having all kind of relationship, also you realize this is not real. One day she said, oh, now I found another boyfriend or another girlfriend, go away. You realize this is not real also. So actually you have the secret knowledge, realizing that nothing is real, can never let you experience any kind of disappointment, fear, suffering. This is secret knowledge. Nothing's real. Let it be or let it not be. God's egal. So we born in this world in form of baby girl and boy. It's not real. Now we live in this world as men and women. It's not real. One day we say we die. We realize it's not real. So birth, life, death cannot even shake us. This secret wisdom, understanding of this nothing's real, everything's like dream, nothing's real, will protect you from all kind of disappointment and fear, suffering. The ancient, all the great masters that developed the secret knowledge, nothing's real. Can you do this? Nothing's real. So you can enjoy a beautiful form, beautiful appearance. You can enjoy it, you can observe it, you can enjoy it. Without clinging, without fixation, because you know this is not real. Things which is going to cease, going to change in next moment, or tomorrow, or day after tomorrow, those things are not real. These are like dream. So you can experience all kind of, you can enjoy all the appearance when it appeared, when it rests for a while, and then when it disappeared. Whole 3 times you can enjoy all the appearance, appearing, resting, and disappearing, without involving yourself experiencing disappointment and fear and suffering. This is the art of wisdom. When they appear, when they rest for a while, and when they disappear, all the time they are real. In nature of all phenomena, when it appears, you let it appear, you have no fixation, no attachment, because you realize this is not real. When it is challenging with you, you also know these are not real. Not real, but opportunity is real, because if you practice this wisdom enlightenment meditation through taking this great opportunity of this life which is not real, but opportunity is real, to practice meditation, practice the wisdom enlightenment, you will reach freedom forever. You will reach enlightenment forever. So opportunity in life is real, which gives us opportunity for our enlightenment, for our purification, for our transformation, for our realization. If life itself is not real, if life is real, why we have to change? Why we have to die? Things which are subject to change, they say, I'm changing, that's why I'm not real. The phenomena are already changing. Now this evening, afternoon, sun is setting down, weather changed, they say, I'm not real. But we still cling on this time, summer, winter, autumn, spring, morning, afternoon, evening, night time. We are clinging. We are our ignorant mind cling everyone as if everything's real. But of the wisdom mind, wisdom enlightenment, that you can listen for your spiritual master. If you practice this wisdom enlightenment, a clear judgment of wisdom enlightenment, nothing is real. Everything appears as not real, rest for a while, it's not real, and disappears for a while. Life appears in form of birth, without reality, not real, illusory of life. Dream-like life appears from nothing. Life lives for nothing, and death doesn't disappear anything. Everything is not real. So when you realize everything's not real, then you have rest of mind, you have mind, peace of mind. Otherwise, there's so many conflicts, so many crush. You live in space. All these phenomena, all the elements which are changing, which is like moving. But space is beyond moving. Space is beyond change. Because space realizes this nothing is real. Everything is illusory, everything is dreamlike, everything is nothing. No? So we must have this realization that everything is not real. When you realize everything is not real, you will enjoy everything, but you will not involve in everything. You can have everything, or you can have nothing. You will equally enjoy all kind of freedom of your heart. If you have everything, or you have nothing, it doesn't make any change. It doesn't make any difference. You can have everything, or you don't have everything. Because to have everything is not real, and not to have everything is not real. You just rest in the space nature of your mind, space nature of mind of peace, love, freedom, and God nature. You will rest in God nature. And this phenomena which is changing, which is not God nature, when you realize these are not real, so you are one with, you become one with the God, not with these old obstacles, all the wave of tsunami, what is happening in this world, all the changes. You don't trust them. This change, things which are subject to change, they are not real. I don't give my heart to any phenomena, any life which is subject to change. I don't trust them because these are not real. I only trust God, Buddha. I trust my divine nature, which is forever peace nature, freedom nature, enlightenment nature, loving nature. I trust my divine nature. I trust everybody's divine nature, which is the loving nature, peace nature, God nature, Buddha nature, enlightenment nature. Any phenomena which is subject to change, I don't trust them because these are not real. So your mind is forever in peace. Nobody can shake you. You become unshakable, great meditator, great enlightened being. Every expectation brings endless disappointment. So when we don't expect anything from any phenomena which is not real, they cannot fulfill your expectation. So to have expectation to the phenomena which doesn't have any existence, you are foolish. If you develop kind of expectation towards phenomena which doesn't have a real existence, if you have developed fixation, if you develop expectation, of course you will be disappointed because a phenomena which doesn't have their own existence, their own reality, they can never fulfill your wish. So you know things which are subject to change, you know these things are not real. No? You have a husband who came, maybe you have children with him also, then he went away, he was not real when at the first place when he came, he was not real, and he went away, it was not real after, it was just a dream. You wake up in your dream, you realize that in the reality, the truth, which is beyond change, and you are happy. You know? So greatest antidote of all kind of experiencing, of all kind of fear, suffering, disappointment is to realize everything is not real. Everything is not real. Sometimes the doctors or say, keine Angst. Keine Angst. Everything is not real, how we say in Germany. Nothing's real. Huh? Nichts ist real, kein Angst, kein Angst, kein Angst. So that's why you see, in Buddhism, in the Lamas, great masters, when people are dying, when people experience, oh, I'm dying, kein Angst. Nichts, no real. Death is just your dream. It's your because you have so much fixation on life. That's why you're afraid of death. Never exists. Life never exists, and death also never exists. Unless which real. Kind out. So now we are experiencing a life which doesn't have reality. We are experiencing a life which is not real. That's interesting. That's most arty. No? When you see this life is real, then you answer, oh my God, I have real life here. You know? But when you realize it's real, and this is like, it's like you're like film directors, you know, who make a horror film. And maybe some will also act like horror film actors. But when they watch their movies, they know it's not real. There's a laugh about it. The director of a horror movie knows it's not real because it's his own creation. And he has no fear to his own creation. No? So the secret knowledge is that whenever you experience disappointment, fear and suffering, you really sit down and contemplate nothing's real. Nothing's real. Nothing's real. Everything is dream of our mind. Nothing's real. So if you stay 5 minutes concentrating, focusing that nothing is real, you will be absolutely calm. You will be free from fear, suffering, disappointment, whatever you used to experience before 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, you will be in peace. Because in our life, there's many disappointment, many fear and suffering, many big changes, many things are waiting for us, you know. So you have to prepare yourself. You must have the realization that everything's not real. This realization, which realize that everything's not real, will give you ultimate relief from all kinds of disappointment and fear and suffering. So, to believe and to get the fixation that everything real is source of disappointment, source of fixation, source of fear and suffering. Where else, when you realize nothing is real, all the phenomena which is subject to change, they are not real. So you don't believe them, you don't give your heart to them, and you don't expect anything from them. Just simply realize everything is not real. Will make you unshakable, very deep. Free yourself from all kinds of fear and suffering. Oma hum, Oma hum, Oma. Oma hum. Meditate for 2 minutes. Everything is not real. Only your divine nature is real. Your divine nature, which is a God nature, Buddha nature, enlightened nature, peace nature, loving nature, is real. Other things which are subject to change, they are not real. No fixation, no attachment, no expectation to those all phenomena, all those appearances which are subject to change, they are not real. When you realize the truth as it is, that these are not real, it will give you ultimate relief. No? And free yourself from all kinds of fear and suffering. Once you say these are real, then you start to have a lot of expectation. You will have a lot of involvement. And then each every involvement and expectation towards phenomena which are not real will create endless fear and suffering and disappointment to you. You will suffer, you will experience disappointment and fear and suffering out of no reason, but one reason, because we are stupid, we are foolish to have fixation, to believe phenomena which is not real. You think they are real. So your fixation, your wrong thinking towards all phenomena which is not real is source of your suffering and disappointment. You put yourself in trouble by believing that these phenomena which is not real, and you thought these are real, and you have fixation, you have expectation, and then this fixation, attachment will develop countless fear, suffering, disappointment for you. So all the suffering, fear, disappointment is a punishment of our wrong thinking, of our ignorant thinking. Once we realize the truth is this phenomena which is subject to change, they are not real. This is the truth. When you realize this truth, you are free from fear and suffering, and you will never be disappointed. So this is for your daily life practice. Okay, why I tell you this now? For this is absolutely useful for your daily life practice. Free yourself from all kind of fear and suffering, disappointment. And then, of course, you realize, you practice, you contemplate that this phenomena which are subject to change, these are not real. You don't, you realize these are not real, and then you are at peace. Where else your divine truth, divine nature, which is forever peace nature, God nature, Buddha nature, enlightened nature, is real. It is there since beginner's time, only we don't realize it. Real truth is real. Our divine nature, which is forever loving nature, God nature, freedom nature, enlightenment nature, is real. It is absolutely reliable. It is your divine nature. You have to realize it. The rest of phenomena, which is not real, just subject to change, better you realize these are not real, so that you don't expect from this phenomena which is not real. If you expect, you will get all kinds of disappointment, fear, suffering. You will be victim of your own misunderstanding, your own ignorance. So this much I tell you, I want you to practice this. Okay? This is priceless wisdom. By practicing it, it will open your heart enlightenment. You will be free from fear and suffering and disappointment. You will be always happy with yourself. Buddha Shakyamuni, before he flew from his kingdom, because he realized this kingdom, this life, this servant, these jewels, these treasures, this life is not real. Because we start to believe that these are real, at the time of death, it will prove that these are not real, and you will experience endless fear, suffering, disappointment, because you believe phenomena which is not real as real. Because of that, you will experience endless fear, suffering, disappointment. So he knows if you believe this life, the life will disappoint you at the time of change, time of death. So that's why Buddha already knows life is not real. All the treasures, all the jewelries, all the kingdom, all this servant, countless servant, all this colorful phenomena of life is not real. So in order to find the things which is absolute real, absolute truthful, absolute natural, absolute your essence, in order to find the real phenomena, the real truth, the real nature of himself, of his, he went to find the real truth. He went to forest, and then after 6 years meditation, he found the divine truth of himself, divine nature of himself, and divine nature and for truth of everyone. Enlightenment nature, forever peaceful nature, forever freedom nature, forever blissful nature, forever perfect nature, forever God nature, forever Buddha nature he found. After he renounced all phenomena, all involvement which are not real. No? But when you realize the truth, when you realize nothing is real, then your heart's open to with the love, peace, inner freedom, and then you have more smiling. What a great phenomena, what a great appearance, what a great beings around me who are not real by nature, but They are around me. I'm such a rich with this all kind of loving people around me. Then when you realize nothing's real because everything is impermanent, everything changes every moment. That's why every moment of meeting with other fellow beings is a subject to smile and celebrate. Your heart will be free from fixation, attachment, but your heart will be full of love, full of peace, full of smiling. And you can enjoy every moment of life with heart of smiling, with heart of love. But if you think everything is real, not fixation, then you get greedy, then you get aggressive, then you get selfish, you get completely useless, frozen. When you realize nothing is real, yet we are here together for a short moment. After a short moment, we are going to separate. This moment when we are together, let us smile together, love each other, smile to each other, protect each other, care for each other. Then you are able to enjoy each moment of life, each moment of meeting as a divine meeting with heart of love, heart of smile in heart. If you want to realize that, if you want to purify your life, you must contemplate that this life is not real. This life is like a dream. This life is not real. All this relationship is not real. All the changes of all weather, change of time, change of all the appearance are not real. Life itself is not real. It's like a dream. So if you contemplate these, then you are purifying your life. Otherwise, you have so much fixation on this life. As the life is real, you have so much attachment towards this life. As life is real, then you have a lot of greediness, selfishness, a lot of anger, a lot of negative emotion. Because you think that this life is real, you will never able to purify your life. You will never able to start a journey of enlightenment, towards enlightenment. No? So this life is not real. All these relationships are not real. Okay, these all beings, we meet each other because we have some loving connection. We have loving connection. That's why these beings who are not real, we meet each other to help each other, to serve each other, to protect each other, to enlighten each other. More than that, these beings around us, they are not real also. We are not real, they are not real. Life is not real. It's like a dream. Life is like a dream. So in this way, you can get rid of the fixation and attachment towards this life because you realize everything is not real. Then you start to practice renunciation. You start to practice purification. You start a journey towards enlightenment. Before the death comes, you have a chance to reach enlightenment. So purification of this life is to realize that this life is not real, it's a dream. So say, why this life which is not real, life which is like a dream, why I have so much selfishness, why I have so greediness, why I am so aggressive, why I am so selfish, why I am so blocked, no? Why I am so negative? Because this life is not real. This beautiful life is something to enjoy moment by moment, appreciating each other, loving each other, serving each other. Life is beautiful when you don't have fixation, attachment. When you realize life is not real because it's passing every moment, changing every moment. So when you realize that this life is not real, then your heart is free to renounce, your heart is free to practice spiritual journey towards enlightenment. So if you want to purify your life, you must realize, you must believe that this life is not real. No? Because when you realize that this life is not real, all this appearance is not real, it will open your heart of enlightenment, heart of freedom, heart of peace, heart of love. But if you think these are real, then you have real anger, you have real greediness, you have real selfishness, you have real ignorance, you have real the fixation, attachment, and these all negative thoughts, which is led by our misunderstanding of reality of this life, will completely ruins your life, misguide your life. Your life will experience great disappointment, fear and suffering. So secret knowledge, as I told you before, that this life is not real. Life is changing every moment, every second, every minute they're changing. This life is not real. So no use to have anger, no use to have greediness, no use to have fixation, attachment, No use to have a expectation towards life which is not real. So then instead of fixation, attachment, with no fixation, with no attachment, with no expectation, you will enjoy a spiritual life of love, spiritual life of freedom, spiritual life of inner peace, happiness, spiritual life of inner freedom and enlightenment. So can you think that all the life that you experience from childhood until now, it looks like everything was real. In fact, it was not real. That's why every time it's changing. No? So please realize this life is not real. Can you meditate for 2 minutes that this life is not real? And then you forgive others. Why we develop so much fixation, attachment? Why we hurt each other? Why we have so much anger? Why we have so much conflict? Why we have so much anger, so much greediness? All this greediness, all this emotional suffering, fear, suffering, unnecessary. Fear, suffering, disappointment, and bad relationship, the fellow human beings happens, it appears because of our fixation, attachment, because of our wrong thinking. No? So you start to forgive yourself. You start to forgive all the fellow beings that you know from childhood until now. You start to have a loving compassion with all the fellow beings. You can start to forgive each other, realizing everything's not like a dream. No? So you can easily forgive, easily can bless them, easily can send your blessing to them. No? So this is how you purify your life. You know? So as sooner or later we are going to die. So what we think is real will prove it's not real the moment it changes into death. When death comes, then life itself, the experience of death will prove that okay, this life was not real. That's why I'm dying. So you can accept all kind of change. You can accept the death. You can accept the sickness. You can accept all kind of experience. You can accept because you know life is full of change, impermanent. It's like a dream. You know. Then you are able to forgive yourself and forgive others, and love yourself and love others, and take responsibility for your own liberation and liberation of others by contemplating everything's not real.